Welcome to Lovely T's Kitchen. Today we are going to do ravioli bake. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Please don't forget to hit that bell for notification. We need to lift those shares and those likes up. I need some more shares and some more likes. Here we go. All right, so we are going to use our raviolis. I got the big pack, which is the 48 ounces. You don't have to get that. You can get a smaller size. That's just what I need, right? So in the Prego sauce, which is the meat flavor, I also got the 3 ounce of that. They do have a smaller one. It's what you're needing, right? And then we have the Parmesan cheese, and we have the shaved, and this right here is going to be the 5 ounces, both of them. I got mozzarella cheese, which is the smaller one, which is the 8 ounces. I also got a pack of hamburger meat, which is just 1 ounce. If you like the meaty, like you want a lot of meat, by all means, put more meat in it. We have our spinach. We are not going to use all of this spinach, which this spinach is the 10 ounce bag, but you can get a smaller one. We're only going to use half of this bag. So I like spinach for other things, so that's the reason why I have a bigger bag. We have our water right here. We're going to add just a tenth of, like just a sprinkle of salt, right? We're going to let that boil a little bit before we put our raviolis in it. I'm only going to use half of that bag. I always wash my meat. So I washed it, I put it in the pan. I put a little salt and pepper on it to taste. Nothing fancy. I have another pot over here that I'm going to preheat the Prego sauce. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper in that to taste. Nothing fancy on that. Alright, so what you see in front of you is you see a spoon with a little bit of shortening on it, which would be like 1 little teaspoon. You also see the all natural seasoning, You're just going to sprinkle just a little bit into your water. You're going to put the shortening in here as well. It just keeps the pasta from sticking, as well as the salt that I put in there, just a little sprinkle. On the seasoning is going to add a little bit of flavor to the pasta that we're going to put in here. So we're just going to sprinkle that just to taste as well. We have our meat, which is cooking, and then we have our sauce that we're reheating that. So we have our salt and pepper and the sauce, just a sprinkle just to taste. So everything is just to taste today. It's not a real percentage of what you're putting in there, except the shortening, which is just 1 teaspoon. Okay, so we add the meat into the sauce. We have it on medium heat, and it's starting to pop, so that's when you know when it's getting warmer. We just want it, because the sauce is already made, right? So we just wanted to kind of reheat that, and then we added the meat to it. Then we're waiting on our water to boil. So we're waiting on that, and then once we get that to go to a boil, we're going to put our raviolis in there, which I'm only going to use half of a bag because that's all I need. But you do as much as you need for your meal. So if it's just for one person, just depends how much you eat. So if you don't eat a whole lot, you're not going to need a whole lot. So you have to adjust it to what your need is. I did want you to see that the pasta, the ravioli, was filled with the mozzarella. That's the only thing that it has in it. But I did open the bag, so the bag doesn't have a whole lot in it. So I thought it was gonna be like a lot in there, but it's really not. So I'm going to go ahead and use all of this bag. I'm going to use all of this bag, and I'm going to use half of the spinach. And all of that is going to go into this beautiful water whenever it decides to boil. Okay, so we got some little bubbles coming up. It's not like in a full boil, but it's just fine. So we're going to go ahead, and it looks like it's going to take 4 minutes, well, 4.5 minutes to before the raviolis is done. So we're gonna go ahead and set our timer. So cook time, let's see, you know what, it says timer set. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna put 4 and then 12, and then we're going to start it. So we got that going, and we're gonna go ahead and add Ravioli's in here. Add the whole bag, because that's what I'm needing in my life here. So we got that going. Once it starts, when it gets to a full boil, then that's when we're going to add our spinach. So we're going to add half of this bag, which I have the bigger bag, so which is going to be 10 ounces. So half of a 10-ounce bag. Of course, if you get a smaller bag, you're going to use all of that. But I have a 10-ounce bag, so I'm going to only use half of it. So, and then we're going to put that inside of the boiling pasta. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but it did not boil like I wanted it to, but it did stay for 4 minutes, and it was like 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. So I went ahead and let that do that, but then I put the spinach in it, which I put half of that bag in there. So I am stirring it up, and I'm putting it all the way in there. I'm going to let that spinach cook. So I put it in the spinach in there last because it doesn't take spinach very long to boil. So I didn't want to put, like, you don't want your pasta to get all lumpy and nasty, because this is also going into the oven. So it's done. I don't know why it didn't boil like I wanted it to, but it's definitely done. So like I said, the spinach doesn't take very long to get all loose and wimpy and cooked. So we'll let that go and let that cook. We definitely want to keep it on a medium heat. You don't want to cook it real fast. You don't want your pasta to be all nasty. So it's still nice and firm. The cheese is cooked inside. It's already pretty much ready anyway. It's just you're just pre-cooking it. So we'll just go ahead and let the your spinach get all the way done. So that's what we're waiting on. Then we're going to drain this, and we're going to put it in our pan, and we're going to dress it all up. Okay, it's finally coming to a boil. So you do whatever type of modifications you need to, but it took 100 years. Not really, but it felt like it anyway. That's like rule number 1: don't cook when you're like hungry, because it makes you feel like it takes a long time. So anywho, so while it's doing this boil, we're going to kind of mix it up a little bit. So push it all in there. We want that spinach to get all wimpy and nice. Look at that. So pretty. So we'll let that go for like about 5 Probably about, maybe let's see, like about 5 minutes, and then we'll drain it. Okay, so now we have put it in our pan, and we're going to add our meat sauce to it. All of it. And then we are going to kind of smooth it over, get it on in there. We're going to take one of the Parmesan cheeses, and we're going to put that all in there too. And then we're going to mix it up. So we're going to kind of fold it in there, kind of fold it all the way through, kind of mix it all in there. We're going to fold it all the way through. Okay, so as you are folding the sauce and the spinach and the Parmesan into each other, you are going to just sprinkle some garlic powder. Just sprinkle it through the whole thing and then fold that in as well. Not a whole lot, just sprinkle it all the way through. And then you're gonna put your mozzarella, you're gonna put your heat on 350. Everything is already done with this. So all you are waiting for is for the cheese to melt. This would be really good with some good wine. This dish was prepared for me earlier through the week by my son, and so this is really his creation. I kind of modified it just a little bit. I made a little twist to it, but this is his recipe. I think this is a really quick, easy recipe, something fast, and you still have a good meal. Put you some Texas toast with it, put you a vegetable with it, and voila. Okay, I have taken it out the oven. Now, if you want it to be a little brown on the top, go ahead and do that. Me personally, I just don't like that, but I know like my kids and stuff, they like a little brown on it. So go ahead and do all of that if you want to. It won't hurt it at all, but I'm just trying to show you what it looks like coming out. And this is what it can look like. Get you a glass of wine. Oh, have mercy.